Everything you see around you right now, every sound, every building, every invention, every dream turned to dust or gold started first as a thought, a simple, invisible pulse inside someone's mind. And yet, that one thought had the power to move mountains. Because your mind is the architect of your world. The tragedy is most people live their entire lives never realizing this truth. They think life happens to them, not through them. They walk through existence reacting to everything outside, while the real power, the real source, lies within. You see, your thoughts are not harmless. They are commands. Every single one of them. Each thought you entertain is a seed, and the soil of your subconscious is always fertile. Plant a seed of fear, and life will give you reasons to be afraid. Plant a seed of faith, and the universe will bend itself to meet your belief. Earl Nightingale called it the strangest secret: you become what you think about. But this is not a slogan, it's a law. As real as gravity. As constant as sunrise. When you hold a thought long enough, with conviction and emotion, it begins to shape your perception, and your perception shapes your actions. Your actions shape your habits. Your habits create your destiny. Change your thoughts, and your life will follow. Every single time. But here's the uncomfortable truth: most people don't think. They recycle. They replay the same stories, the same fears, the same limitations over and over again, like an endless loop that keeps them trapped. They think the same thoughts today they did yesterday, and wonder why tomorrow looks exactly the same. If you want to change your life, you must first change your inner language. You must become the guardian of your mind. Ask yourself, what am I allowing to take root in my mind every day? What stories do I tell myself about who I am and what I'm capable of? Because those stories are not just words, they are blueprints. They are quietly designing your future behind the scenes. When Dr. Wayne Dyer said, "When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change," he wasn't talking about wishful thinking. He was revealing one of the most profound truths of human existence: that perception creates reality. That your outer world is a mirror of your inner one. If you believe life is hard, you will attract struggle. If you believe people are cruel, you'll find cruelty everywhere you go. But if you start truly believing that you are guided, supported, and capable, life will begin to reflect that belief. Because life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. So the question is not, what do I want? The question is, who must I become to deserve it? And the answer always begins with your thoughts. When you understand that your mind is a magnet, you start treating it differently. You stop feeding it garbage, negativity, gossip, fear. You begin to curate your inner world the way an artist chooses his colors. With precision. With purpose. Every morning, when you open your eyes, you stand at a crossroads. To the left, the same old thoughts, the same old habits, the same old story. To the right, possibility, growth, transformation. And that decision, that split-second choice of what you think first, can shape the entire rhythm of your day. Think scarcity, you'll live small. Think abundance, and life expands. Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But belief doesn't come from repeating affirmations. It comes from alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all in harmony, you stop wishing, and you start creating. That's conscious creation. That's the art of becoming a deliberate architect of your life. But it starts with awareness of what you're thinking when no one's watching. Because your life is always listening. Every time you say "I can't," your subconscious records it as a command. Every time you say "I'm trying," it hears uncertainty. But when you say "I will," "I am," "I can," the universe begins to rearrange itself in response. Because reality does not respond to hope. It responds to frequency. And the frequency of your thoughts determines what you attract. If you want to change the music of your life, you must first tune the instrument of your mind. So stop waiting for luck. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop saying someday. And start realizing, you are holding the pen to your own story right now. You've always had the power. You just forgot it. The greatest prison in the world is not built from steel and concrete, it's built from the walls of your own thoughts. And most people never escape it. They live their entire lives in a cell whose door was never locked. They say, "I'm not smart enough, I'm too late, I don't have what it takes." But here's the truth: every limitation you've ever believed was taught to you. You were not born doubting yourself. You were conditioned to. When you were a child, your imagination had no boundaries. You believed you could fly, touch the stars, become anything. You were pure potential untouched by fear. But somewhere along the way, society, school, family, culture, they told you to be realistic. They told you to stop dreaming. And slowly, that limitless child began to disappear behind the walls of I can't. But what if I told you that child is still there waiting for permission to return, because your true self, your authentic power, your highest potential, never dies. It just waits for you to think differently. Change your thoughts, and you reconnect to that original energy, the one that created worlds. The world outside you is a mirror, and if the reflection isn't what you want, the answer isn't to fight the mirror, it's to change the image you project. That's why Dr. Dyer said, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. It's not enough to want success, you must think, feel, and live as though success is already yours. You can't hold thoughts of fear and expect faith to bloom. You can't dwell in lack and attract abundance. The universe doesn't speak English or Chinese, it speaks energy. And your thoughts are the language it listens to. If you say, I want more money, but deep down believe I'll never have enough, you're not attracting wealth, you're affirming lack. If you say, I want love, but you think I'm not worthy, you're repelling the very thing you desire. The law is simple, you don't get what you wish for. You get what you believe you are worthy of receiving. And belief is not built overnight, it's sculpted by repetition, by focus, by action. You train your mind the same way you train your body, through daily discipline. Feed it with empowering ideas. Challenge it to see opportunity in struggle. Teach it to replace why me with try me. That's the beginning of transformation. Because no matter who you are, where you come from, or what has happened to you, your mind has the power to rewrite your destiny. It's not your circumstances that hold you back. It's your acceptance of them. Think of Edison, thousands of failed experiments before one light bulb. Think of Walt Disney, fired from his first job for lacking imagination. Think of Oprah, told she was unfit for television. Every single one of them faced rejection, ridicule, and failure. But they had one thing in common: they refused to let their thoughts be dictated by the world around them. They built their inner world so strong that reality had no choice but to adapt. And that's the real secret. You must become mentally unshakable before life becomes physically unbreakable. Discipline your thoughts, and the universe will discipline your reality. Start speaking to yourself like someone you're responsible for. Feed your mind hope, courage, gratitude, and strength. Every day, ask yourself, what would the best version of me think right now? And then think that thought over and over again until it becomes your default. Because the moment your inner dialogue changes, everything changes. You stop reacting. You stop chasing. You start attracting. You begin to notice the small miracles, the right people showing up, the right doors opening, the timing aligning perfectly. And you realize it wasn't luck. It was law. It was your mind, finally vibrating in harmony with what you were meant to have all along. So stop asking when your life will change, ask how you're thinking. Because the universe doesn't respond to calendars. It responds to consciousness. The higher your thoughts, the higher your life. There's a law that governs this universe, and it's not written in books or carved in stone. It's written in energy. It's the law of alignment. You don't manifest what you chase. You manifest what you align with. Think of your thoughts like radio frequencies. If you tune your mind to fear, you'll pick up more reasons to be afraid. If you tune it to gratitude, you'll attract more things to be thankful for. Life doesn't send you what you want, it mirrors what you broadcast. So, if your frequency is worry, chaos, and self-doubt, you'll live in situations that confirm those emotions. But the moment you choose to vibrate higher, when you decide to think, speak, and act from peace, certainty, and faith, the world rearranges itself to meet you there. You don't fight for alignment, you become it. Every time you visualize the life you want, you're not daydreaming, you're programming your future. Visualization is not fantasy. It's a rehearsal for destiny. Close your eyes and see yourself already there, not trying, not waiting, being. Feel what it's like to have already achieved it, to walk in that house, to run that business, to live with that peace, to inspire those people. Don't just see it, feel it, breathe it, believe it, Because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. It only responds to repetition and emotion. So the more you feel successful before success arrives, the faster it comes to find you. Dr. Dyer said, "You'll see it when you believe it. That's not poetry, it's physics. Every thought you think is energy in motion. Every emotion you feel sends a signal to the universe, this is who I am. And the universe unfailingly says, as you wish." So ask yourself, what signal have you been sending? Have you been broadcasting scarcity or abundance, fear or faith, victimhood or victory? You can't plant seeds of doubt and harvest confidence. You can't think small and expect to live big. The soil of your mind will grow whatever you plant, whether it's weeds or wonders. So guard it fiercely. Protect your vibration like your life depends on it, because it does. Every morning, before the noise of the world enters, tune yourself. Before you scroll, before you speak, before you worry, align. Even 2 minutes of stillness can shift your entire day. Because silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. Sit with yourself. Breathe deeply. Say, I am ready. Not I hope, not I wish, but I am. That small shift from wanting to being activates your creative power. Because you were never meant to beg life for your dreams. You were meant to command them through belief. Faith is not hoping things will work out. Faith is knowing they already have. It's walking in the dark, trusting the floor will appear beneath your feet. You don't wait for certainty to act, you act, and certainty follows. You don't wait for motivation, you move, and motivation appears. The most powerful people in history didn't have guarantees. They had conviction. And when you live from conviction, when your mind, body, and energy align with your purpose, you become unstoppable. Because now, life is no longer something that happens to you. It happens through you. You stop chasing results. You start embodying truth. And the truth is this: you are not separate from your dreams. You are their source. You are not here to survive, you are here to create, to express, to expand, to rise. Every challenge you face is not a punishment, it's preparation. It's shaping you into the person capable of carrying your vision. So don't resist it, respect it. The pressure you feel today is molding the strength you'll need tomorrow. When you hit a wall, remind yourself, walls are not there to stop you. They're there to test your willingness to go through. And once you break through, life expands beyond anything you thought possible. Because when your frequency matches the vibration of your vision, it must by law appear. There's a difference between living by default and living by intention. Most people live by default. They react to life instead of creating it. They wake up and let the world tell them who to be, what to fear, what to chase. But those who live from intention move differently. They don't chase. They attract. They don't wait for signs, they become the sign. Their life is not random, it's a reflection of deliberate thought, conscious energy, and unwavering faith. You see, intention isn't a wish. It's a declaration. It's a quiet, unshakable knowing that says, this is who I am. This is why I'm here. And everything that happens is guiding me toward that truth. When you live from intention, even failure has meaning. Even heartbreak carries wisdom. Even loss reveals light. Because you no longer see life as happening to you, you see it as happening for you. Dr. Dyer called it the power of conscious creation. And he was right. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the energy of purpose, the universe rearranges itself to support that vibration. Think of it like sailing. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Your intention is the direction of those sails. And once they're set, the current of life begins to carry you forward. Most people drift hoping the wind will change, but creators don't wait for calm seas. They steer their ship into the storm, knowing that destiny favors the bold. Because when your intention is pure, when it comes from service, growth, and love, no obstacle can sink you. You may get delayed, detoured, even defeated for a moment, but never destroyed. That's the hidden power of living from intention. It turns adversity into alignment. It transforms resistance into redirection. When Edison failed 1,000 times, his intention never wavered. He said, I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work. That's not stubbornness, that's spiritual alignment. That's what happens when your vision burns brighter than your doubt. Intention doesn't shout, it whispers. It speaks through intuition, not logic. It nudges you when you're lost, saying, This way, it appears in synchronicities, coincidences, and the quiet moments when your heart feels a spark for no reason. That spark is guidance. That feeling is your higher self reminding you that you're not alone, that something greater is co-creating with you. But to hear it, you must be still. The world teaches us to hustle, to grind, to never stop moving. Yet the greatest power reveals itself in stillness. Sit in silence each day, not to escape the noise, but to rise above it. In that silence, you'll rediscover your center. You'll realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. And once you see that clearly, your entire world shifts. You stop asking, when will my life change? You start asking, who do I need to become for it to change? Because the truth is, the universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your energy. It mirrors your inner world back to you. So if you want peace, be peace. If you want abundance, feel abundant now. If you want love, embody love. You cannot attract what you are unwilling to become. Every dream has a frequency. Every goal vibrates at a certain level of consciousness. And when you raise your vibration to match it through gratitude, discipline, faith, and surrender, it materializes effortlessly. That's not magic. That's alignment. Wayne Dyer once said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That's the essence of conscious creation. You are not trying to manipulate reality, you are recalibrating your perception so that you finally see what was always available to you. Because everything you've ever wanted already exists, just on a higher frequency than where you've been operating. And the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, is intention. It's the decision to live on purpose. To speak deliberately. To think powerfully. To walk each day as if your future self were already living through you. When you wake up, say, today, I choose peace. When you face fear, say, I trust my path. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself, I am guided, even when I cannot see the way. That is the spiritual posture of a conscious creator. You don't beg for blessings, you align with them. You don't demand outcomes, you allow them. You live in a state of relaxed certainty, knowing that everything you need will arrive exactly when it's meant to. That's not passivity, that's power. Because faith, at its highest level, is surrender. It's letting go of control while holding on to vision. It's trusting that the same intelligence that grows the trees and moves the oceans, is also orchestrating your life. And when you learn to live from that place, from intention, not fear, you stop surviving and start creating. There comes a moment in every seeker's life when the fight must end. Not because you've lost, but because you've finally understood that the battle was never outside of you. The real struggle was within, between your will and the will of the universe. You see, faith is not weakness. It's not sitting idle, hoping that things will magically work out. Faith is the quiet strength that whispers, even when I can't see the path, I still trust that I'm being led. Dr. Dyer used to say, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And who you are, in your deepest moments of uncertainty, is revealed by what you choose to trust. When life doesn't go your way, when plans fall apart, when doors close that you thought were meant to open, that's not rejection. That's redirection. It's the universe rearranging your path to something greater than what your limited mind can perceive. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. Look at any great life, any master, leader, or visionary. They all had moments when everything seemed impossible. Moments when logic said, give up. But their faith, that unshakable inner knowing, refused to break. Thomas Edison didn't know how to make light, he simply believed there was a way. Colonel Sanders was rejected over 1,000 times before someone said yes to his chicken recipe. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. But faith turned their wounds into wisdom. Their delays into divine timing. Their pain into purpose. Because faith doesn't demand proof. It creates it. And this is where most people stumble. They say, when I see it, I'll believe it. But the truth is, when you believe it, you'll see it. Everything begins as thought, invisible, intangible, uncertain. Faith is what brings that thought into form. It's the bridge between imagination and manifestation. You've already been using faith your entire life, just often in the wrong direction. Every time you worry, you're using faith but in fear. Every time you doubt yourself, you're using faith but in failure. Faith is energy. You're always believing in something. The question is, What are you choosing to believe in? Start believing that things are always working in your favor even when they don't make sense. Start believing that every delay is protection, every detour has purpose, and every ending is just a disguised beginning. Because life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. When you finally surrender to that truth, something miraculous happens. You stop swimming against the current. You start flowing with it, and in that flow, everything you've been chasing begins to move toward you. That's the paradox of surrender. When you stop forcing life, life starts working. The people you need, the ideas you seek, the opportunities you've been praying for, they begin to appear. Not because they suddenly exist, but because your energy has shifted. Your vibration has risen to match what you've been asking for. It's like tuning a radio. The frequency was always there. You just had to align yourself to hear it, and that alignment begins the moment you release control. You stop saying, "I'll be happy when," and start saying, "I'm grateful now." You stop trying to predict every turn, and start trusting that you'll be guided through each one. When you live this way, peace becomes your default setting. You no longer chase after success, you embody it. You no longer crave love, you radiate it. You no longer fear lack, you overflow with abundance. Because what you are internally eventually mirrors externally. Dr. Dyer called this the power of allowing. Allowing doesn't mean giving up, it means stepping back from resistance. It's realizing that you don't need to fight for what's already yours, you simply need to align with it. Remember, resistance blocks blessings, but gratitude releases them. Every time you say thank you, you open a door for more to flow in. Gratitude is the ultimate act of faith. It's thanking the universe before you receive. It's saying, "I trust that it's already on its way." That kind of energy transforms everything. The mind that doubts and the mind that believes both create realities. Only one leads to peace. And peace isn't passive, it's power under control. It's standing in the middle of chaos, yet being unmoved. It's looking at uncertainty and saying, "I still choose trust." Faith is not built in comfort. It's forged in storms. When everything seems lost, when the road disappears and your hands tremble, that's when you discover the truth. The power you seek was never outside. It's been within you the entire time, waiting for you to remember who you are. You are not a body chasing goals, you are a soul creating worlds. You are not a mistake trying to find meaning, you are meaning itself, expressing through human form. You are divine intelligence, eternal energy, consciousness itself, experiencing life through the lens of time. So the next time fear whispers, "What if it doesn't work out?" smile and say, "What if it does?" Because every time you choose faith over fear, you shift the entire course of your destiny. That's not optimism, that's creation. That's alignment. That's mastery of the mind. And that is the sacred secret behind surrender. When you trust the process begins to trust you back. Gratitude, it's the most underestimated force in the universe. Not because people don't value it, but because they don't understand it. They think gratitude is something you express when things go right. But the truth is, gratitude is what makes things go right. You see, every thought you think, every emotion you feel, sends out a vibration, a signal that communicates with the invisible fabric of reality. And that signal determines what comes back to you. When you radiate frustration, you attract more reasons to be frustrated. When you radiate gratitude, you attract more reasons to be grateful. The universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to energy. It listens not to what you say, but to what you feel. That's why Dr. Dyer always said, feeling good is the doorway to all that you desire. Not because feeling good is naive or delusional, but because it's creative. It's magnetic. It aligns you with the frequency of the life you want. Think of gratitude as the bridge between your current state and your desired state. It doesn't deny the pain. It transforms it. Because gratitude says, even in this, I see meaning. It turns every setback into a lesson, every delay into divine timing, every closed door into guidance. And when you live that way, when you start finding something to appreciate even in your darkest moments, you awaken a force that nothing can stop. Gratitude changes the conversation between you and the universe. It changes the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you think. It makes you magnetic not because of what you have, but because of what you radiate. When you live in gratitude, people feel it before you say a word. It's in your presence, your tone, your peace. You become a mirror of what others want to feel: calm, confident, alive. That's what makes gratitude a superpower. It doesn't just change your circumstances, it changes you. And when you change, everything else adjusts accordingly. So how do you start living with gratitude when life feels unfair, when the storm won't stop, when people betray you, when dreams take longer than you thought? You begin by thanking life for the lesson instead of cursing it for the struggle. You say, "Thank you for showing me what I needed to learn." You whisper, "I may not understand it now, but I trust this is leading me somewhere greater." Gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect, it's about seeing perfection in everything. Because when you choose to see good, you begin to create good. And this is not poetic talk, it's spiritual science. Everything in existence vibrates. Your body, your thoughts, your emotions, all energy. When that energy is aligned with love and appreciation, you rise above the noise of fear and scarcity. You enter a higher frequency, one where ideas flow, people align, opportunities appear. And it's not coincidence, it's coherence. You become a transmitter of divine order. You start living in flow with creation rather than in resistance to it. This is the secret the great minds understood. Nikola Tesla said, "If you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Wayne Dyer took that principle inward. He said, "If you want to change your life, change the energy of your thoughts. Because when your thoughts vibrate on a higher level with peace, love, and gratitude, your outer world reorganizes itself to match." That's why people who truly live with gratitude often seem lucky. Things just happen for them. Doors open. Ideas click. They meet the right people at the right time. But luck is not random. Luck is alignment. Luck is when preparation meets vibration, and gratitude is the preparation of the soul. Every morning, before the world wakes up, try this. Sit in silence. Feel your breath. And begin to say thank you, not as words, but as feeling. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for another chance. Thank you for what's coming, even if I can't see it yet. As you do this, you shift from seeking to allowing. You no longer chase outcomes, you invite them. You no longer worry, you trust. You no longer feel separate from the universe, you remember you are the universe expressing itself through human form. And once you reach that state, life starts to move differently. Synchronicities appear. You think of someone, and they call. You visualize something, and it manifests. You step into opportunities that feel too precise to be coincidence. But it's not magic, it's mastery. It's the universe echoing back the vibration you've sent. When you operate from gratitude, you move from fear-based creation to love-based creation. You stop asking, "What can I get?" and start asking, "What can I give?" And paradoxically, that's when abundance finds you. Because love and gratitude are not emotions, they're frequencies. When you live in those frequencies, the universe cannot help but respond in kind. You've become a conscious co-creator. And that's the point of this entire journey, to remember your creative power. To awaken to the truth that you are not a product of circumstance, but a producer of reality. Your thoughts shape your world. Your energy shapes your future. Your gratitude shapes your destiny. The external world is simply a mirror. If you want to change the reflection, don't attack the mirror, change the image within. Gratitude is how you polish that image. Love is how you sustain it. And consciousness awareness is how you expand it. You're not just living in the universe. The universe is living through you. You are the instrument, and gratitude is the tune. Play it daily and watch how the symphony of your life begins to change its rhythm. Most people live their entire lives trapped inside their own thoughts, like prisoners who don't even realize they're in a cell. They wake up thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, repeating the same patterns, and they call it a life. But it's not life, it's a loop. And that loop is powered by one simple truth: they've never learned to separate who they are from what they think. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer, the consciousness behind them. You are the quiet awareness watching the rise and fall of emotion, the movement of the mind, the noise of the world. But here's the tragedy: most people never meet that awareness. They identify so deeply with their thoughts that they become them. They think anger means they are angry. They think failure means they are failures. They think fear means they are weak. But you, the true you, is none of those things. You are the stillness behind the storm. You are the space in which thoughts come and go. Dr. Wayne Dyer said it beautifully: when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. But what he really meant was this: when you step out of identification with the thought, you rise above it. You become the observer. And once you become the observer, your thoughts lose their power over you. Imagine standing in the middle of a crowded street, surrounded by noise, chaos, arguments, horns, and confusion. That's your mind on a normal day. Now imagine stepping up to the rooftop where everything below still exists, but you're above it. You see the pattern. You see the movement. You see how it all connects. That rooftop is awareness. When you learn to observe instead of react, life transforms. You stop fighting your thoughts and start guiding them. You stop chasing peace and start embodying it, because peace was never gone. It was buried beneath layers of thought. Your mind is a powerful tool but a terrible master. It can build empires or destroy them. It can heal or it can harm. And the difference between the two lies in one skill: awareness. When you are aware, you begin to choose your thoughts. When you are unaware, your thoughts choose you. You can wake up each morning and decide, I will direct the movie of my life today. Or you can wake up and simply play whatever rerun the mind puts on the screen. But the moment you decide to step into awareness, everything changes. You start noticing your inner language. You catch yourself when you say, I can't. You pause before you complain. You interrupt the cycle of fear and say, not this time. That's the birth of transformation, the gap between stimulus and response. That gap is freedom. That's where consciousness lives. That's where you stop being a victim of the world and start being the author of it. The great mystics, from Lao Tzu to Rumi to Dyer, all said the same thing in different ways. The outside world is not your enemy, your unobserved mind is. If you can master that, you can master anything. Let me tell you something powerful. Every limitation you believe you have is only a thought. Every fear you carry is only a thought. Every doubt, every insecurity, every story that says, you're not enough, is nothing more than a thought. And a thought has no power, unless you give it attention. The moment you stop feeding it energy, it dissolves. It has no foundation of its own. It's like a shadow that disappears when the light shines. You are that light. Awareness is that light. And once you turn it on, you begin to see clearly. You start recognizing the voice of your higher self, the calm, steady whisper that says, you can, you will, you already are. That voice doesn't scream. It doesn't compete. It waits for silence. That's why meditation, stillness, solitude, they're not luxuries. They're lifelines. When you sit in silence, you return to yourself. You step out of the noise and into truth. You stop chasing and start aligning. And in that alignment, life becomes effortless. Decisions flow naturally. You no longer have to fight for clarity, it arises on its own. You no longer seek validation, you know who you are. Because awareness doesn't need approval. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't need the world to clap. It simply is. And from that place, you begin to move differently. You start creating instead of competing. You start serving instead of surviving. You start trusting instead of forcing. That's when you step into the true power of conscious creation, not from the ego that says, I will make it happen, but from the soul that whispers, it is already done. That's the energy of creation. That's the energy Wayne Dyer lived in. He didn't chase, he allowed. He didn't force, he flowed. And somehow, everything he needed came to him at the right time, in the right way, through the right people. That's not luck. That's awareness. That's vibration. That's divine timing, the language of an aligned soul. The moment you realize that the universe moves through you, not against you, you stop asking, why is this happening to me, and start saying, what is this trying to teach me? And when you live from that awareness, life stops being a struggle and starts becoming a conversation between you and creation itself. You're not fighting the current anymore. You're flowing with it. You're not surviving time. You're transcending it. You're not hoping for miracles. You've become one. There comes a moment in every seeker's journey, when effort alone is no longer enough. You've visualized, affirmed, worked harder than ever before, but nothing seems to move. Doors stay closed. The path feels blocked. And the harder you push, the heavier it gets. That's not failure. That's life inviting you to surrender. We live in a culture that worships control. We're taught to grind, to force, to demand results as if the universe were a machine that obeys our deadlines. But creation doesn't respond to control, it responds to alignment. The great paradox is this: you can't truly attract what you're desperate to control, because control comes from fear and fear repels. Surrender isn't giving up, it's letting go of resistance. It's releasing the illusion that you must hold everything together. It's trusting that there is a higher order and unseen rhythm guiding your path. Dr. Wayne Dyer said, "When you let go of how you think it should be, you allow how it could be to reveal itself." And that is the essence of power, the ability to allow. To trust that everything happening now, even the delays, the detours, the disappointments, are not obstacles, they're orchestration. Life isn't against you, it's preparing you. You see, the oak tree doesn't fight to grow. The river doesn't force its way to the ocean. The stars don't struggle to shine. They just are. They follow their nature. They trust the design. But we humans, we resist. We question, we force. We say, why isn't it happening faster? And life whispers, because you're not ready to receive it yet. When you surrender, you stop demanding from life and start dancing with it. You start listening instead of controlling. You start responding instead of reacting. And in that state, miracles begin to happen. Because miracles are not magical events, they are natural outcomes of alignment. You were never meant to control everything. You were meant to connect to the source of everything. Think of the radio when it's off frequency, all you hear is static. That's how most people live, off frequency, disconnected, surrounded by noise. But when you tune in, when you align with the vibration of faith, love, gratitude, and trust, the static disappears. The signal comes through. You hear the music. You feel guided. That's surrender. It's not laziness. It's not passivity. It's conscious cooperation with the flow of life. And once you taste that, you'll never go back to fighting the current. Edison didn't force light. He discovered it. He aligned with the laws that were already there. Same with Newton. Same with Tesla. Same with Dyer. They weren't commanding the universe, they were listening to it. You see, true power doesn't come from control, it comes from connection. The one who is most surrendered to the flow of life is the one who creates effortlessly. Because they're not moving against the current, they are the current. When you stop trying to bend life to your will, life starts bending reality to your alignment. You'll meet the right people. Opportunities will appear out of nowhere. Timing will become your ally. You'll say, "That's crazy, I was just thinking about this." And that's not coincidence, that's resonance. That's how the universe speaks, through signs, synchronicities, subtle nudges. But you only hear them when your mind is still. When you're not screaming for control, you can finally hear guidance whisper. So pause, breathe, let go of how you think it's supposed to go, and watch how perfectly it begins to unfold. The caterpillar doesn't have to make itself a butterfly. It just surrenders to transformation. It trusts the cocoon. It dissolves completely, and that's the terrifying part. Because surrender often feels like death before rebirth. You'll lose people. You'll lose plans. You'll lose versions of yourself that no longer belong in the next chapter. And it will hurt. But on the other side of that letting go is something extraordinary: freedom. Freedom from expectation. Freedom from fear. Freedom from needing to know every answer. And that freedom gives birth to flow. When you live in flow, you're not chasing, you're being carried. You're not guessing, you're guided. You're not begging for signs, you become the sign. That's what Dyer meant by conscious creation. It's not about manipulating the outer world, it's about aligning your inner world so precisely that the outer world reflects it. When you think in harmony, feel in gratitude, act in integrity, and trust the divine rhythm, you create without effort. You manifest without forcing. You live without fear. And suddenly, what you used to call miracles becomes your new normal. Because life isn't random. It's responsive. It responds to your frequency, not your frustration. It listens to your vibration, not your words. It answers your being, not your begging. So if you want a new reality, you don't chase it, you become it. You don't demand it, you align with it. You don't fight for it, you allow it to arrive in divine timing. You see, creation isn't about forcing the seed to sprout, it's about preparing the soil, watering it with faith, and trusting that nature knows what to do. And when you surrender like that fully, fearlessly, life opens up in ways logic could never imagine. You begin to realize, you were never meant to figure it all out. You were meant to trust the unfolding. There's a time for stillness, and there's a time to move. Faith without motion is just imagination, but action without alignment is chaos. The power lies in faithful action when what you do flows from what you believe. You can meditate all day, visualize success until your mind glows with images of the future, but until your feet move in the direction of your belief, nothing changes. Action is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between your inner world and the outer world, between who you are and who you're becoming. And yet, most people don't act not because they don't know what to do, but because they don't believe they can do it. They hesitate. They wait for permission. They overthink. They let fear disguise itself as logic. But faith, real faith, isn't quiet. It moves. It breathes. It takes the first step before it can see the entire staircase. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step." That's not just a metaphor, that's a universal law. Every great creation, every business empire, every innovation, every revolution began with one bold step taken by someone who refused to wait until it was safe. Thomas Edison didn't wait for proof that light could exist, he acted as though it already did. Henry Ford didn't wait for someone to believe in his idea, he believed so deeply that others had no choice but to follow. Dr. Wayne Dyer didn't wait for approval, he wrote, he spoke, he shared, even when the world didn't understand him yet. Because that's what creators do, they move before the world catches up. You see, action born of faith feels different. It doesn't come from panic or pressure. It comes from a quiet conviction deep in your spirit that says, I don't know how, but I know I'm meant for this. And when you act from that place, life responds. Doors open that logic could never predict. People appear who mirror your intention. Opportunities arise not by chance, but by resonance. Because action is not just physical, it's energetic. Every decision you make carries a vibration. When that vibration is aligned with your higher purpose, you stop chasing and start magnetizing. Think about it, every great achiever you've ever admired had one thing in common: they acted in spite of fear. They didn't wait for the perfect timing, they created it. They didn't wait for confidence, they built it through motion. They didn't wait for the path to clear, they walked through the fog until the path revealed itself. That's the art of faithful action. To walk when you can't yet see. To move when your mind says wait. To trust that each step you take lights the next one. Action creates clarity. You can't think your way into purpose, you walk your way into it. You find your flow by moving. You find your power by doing. Most people fail not because they lacked vision but because they stopped too soon. They misinterpreted discomfort as a sign to quit, instead of a signal to grow. Discomfort is the universe stretching you into the size of your dream. Every challenge you face while taking action isn't punishment, it's preparation. That's why faith and discipline walk hand in hand. Discipline says, even when it's hard, I'll keep moving. Faith says, even when I can't see it, I'll keep believing. When those two unite, mountains move. But let me tell you something the world rarely does: action doesn't always feel good. Sometimes, it feels terrifying. You'll question everything. You'll doubt yourself. You'll feel alone. That's the cost of becoming unstoppable. Because growth demands courage, the courage to do the thing before you feel ready. The courage to trust your intuition when everyone else doubts it. The courage to say, I am the creator of my life, even when circumstances scream otherwise. The power that built the stars and carved the oceans didn't stop creating, and neither should you. You are an expression of that same creative force. Every time you act with intention, you honor that divine energy within you. Remember, motion creates momentum, and momentum creates miracles. So take that step, send that message, start that business, record that video, write that book, speak that truth, move even if your voice shakes. Because the moment you move, you shift timelines, you alter your frequency, you become a match for a new reality. That's what Dr. Wayne Dyer meant when he said, you'll see it when you believe it. Belief comes first, action follows, and reality bends to match them both. When your inner world and outer world move in harmony, you no longer chase success, you attract it. You no longer pray for change, you embody it. You no longer wait for signs, you become one. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. This is the moment. The universe rewards movement. Not doubt. Not delay. Movement. The person you dream of becoming, the life you crave to live, they are not separate from you. They're waiting behind the door of one courageous decision. Knock. Act. Move. Because when you walk in faith, mountains don't move before you, they move because of you. And then, there comes a point after the struggle, after the noise, after the countless battles inside your own mind, when you finally stop chasing and start becoming. It's the stillness after the storm, the silence where truth speaks, the space between thoughts where creation truly happens. This is what the ancient teachers meant when they said, "Be still, and know." Because stillness is not the absence of movement, it's the presence of awareness. When your mind quiets, the universe whispers. When you stop forcing outcomes, life starts to flow. When you let go of trying to control everything, you finally become the one who can create anything. You begin to understand that manifestation was never about forcing the world to bend to your will, it was about aligning your energy with what already exists. You were never meant to chase abundance, you were meant to realize that you are it. Think about that. You are not separate from success. You are not separate from peace, or purpose, or love. They are extensions of the same consciousness that breathes life into you. Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say, "When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change." He wasn't talking about magic, he was describing how reality reshapes itself around the quality of your perception. If you walk through the world with resentment, you'll find reasons to be bitter. If you walk through the world with gratitude, you'll find miracles hiding in plain sight. If you walk through the world expecting goodness, life has no choice but to rise to meet your faith. Because what you focus on expands. And the energy you hold inside is the broadcast that determines what life sends back to you. So the real question is not what do I want? The real question is, what am I broadcasting? Are you sending out scarcity, or abundance doubt, or trust fear, or faith complaint, or gratitude? Because the universe is not judging your desires, it's mirroring your vibration. Every thought, every word, every emotion is a signal, and life is simply echoing back your frequency. You don't get what you wish for, you get what you believe. You get what you feel worthy of. You get what you are willing to embody. The truth is, the mind is the gateway to heaven or hell. Both exist within you. Your thoughts are the architects of both realities. And that's the greatest power you'll ever have, the power to choose your thoughts intentionally. Not reactively. Not out of habit. But consciously. The moment you begin to think differently, you start to see differently. And when you see differently, you live differently. You realize that success is not something you pursue, it's something you allow. Happiness is not something you find, it's something you decide. Love is not something you earn, it's something you give. And in that awareness, something miraculous happens. The weight you've been carrying dissolves. The walls you built around yourself fall. The constant need to prove yourself fades. Because now, you're no longer trying to become enough, you finally remember that you are enough. You were always enough. You just forgot. When that realization hits, life stops being a battlefield, it becomes a masterpiece. You stop resisting what is, and start co-creating what can be. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start declaring, "Why not me?" The power that created galaxies didn't stop creating when it made you. It placed a spark within you, a divine blueprint, a potential that's been calling your name since the day you were born. Every challenge you've faced, every failure you've endured, every heartbreak you've survived was shaping you into the vessel capable of carrying that light. And now it's your turn to live from it. To think with intention. To act with integrity. To move with purpose. To speak with love. To create from faith. That's how you change your life, not by fighting the old, but by thinking the new. You don't have to know every step of the journey. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You just have to believe that the universe moves with you when you move with belief. Close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath. The life you dream of, it's not somewhere in the future. It's here, in this moment, waiting for you to think it into being. So think boldly, think abundantly, think lovingly, think intentionally. Because your thoughts are not random, they're instructions. They tell life what to build next. They tell destiny what shape to take. They tell the universe who you're ready to become. And when you finally choose thoughts that honor your worth, your power, and your purpose, life will honor them too. That's the secret. Dr. Wayne Dyer devoted his life to teaching. You don't change your circumstances to change your life. You change your consciousness and your life transforms around it, because you become what you think about. And when your thoughts rise, your world follows. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop replaying the story of who you used to be. You are the author now. You are the thinker. You are the creator. Change your thoughts, and you will change your life forever. Because here's the truth most people miss. Your life is not waiting to change someday. It's changing now, in every thought you think, every word you speak, every belief you reinforce. The mind doesn't take a day off. It's constantly creating, sculpting your world in real time. Every complaint, every judgment, every moment of gratitude, every whisper of hope, they all plant seeds. And life never fails to return the harvest. So when you say, nothing ever works out for me, the universe says, okay, noted. When you say, I always find a way, the universe says, so it shall be. This is not superstition. It's resonance. It's how reality bends to the frequency of your inner conviction. You think in words, yes, but you live in vibration. Your energy precedes you. It walks into every room before you do. And people feel it before you ever open your mouth. That's why the most successful, magnetic people in the world are not those with perfect plans. They're the ones whose inner state commands the outer world. They walk with certainty, not because they have guarantees, but because they've learned to believe before they see. Think about it. Every great leader, every innovator, every dreamer who changed the course of history began with a thought that seemed impossible. Wright brothers thought of flying when gravity was law. Edison thought of light when darkness ruled the night. Martin Luther King dreamed of equality when hatred divided hearts. They didn't wait for permission. They thought the impossible into existence, and the world eventually caught up. You and I carry that same power. The same consciousness that imagined flight, invention, and transformation lives inside you right now. But it needs direction. It needs focus. It needs you to wake up from autopilot and use it consciously. Stop saying one day. Start saying today. Stop saying if I can. Start saying when I do. Because when your words shift, your energy follows. And when your energy shifts, your life begins to rearrange itself around that new belief. You don't have to force change. You simply become the change. It's not about hustling harder, it's about aligning deeper. It's not about proving your worth, it's about remembering your worth. It's not about waiting for signs, it's about being the sign. The moment you realize that you are not your circumstances, you become free. You stop identifying with the noise and start creating from the silence within. And from that place of awareness you become unstoppable. Because awareness doesn't fight. It transforms. You start to see that even your pain was never punishment, it was preparation. Your failures weren't rejection, they were redirection. Your waiting wasn't wasted, it was refining your patience, your humility, your faith. Everything that once broke you was carving space for something greater to emerge. So when life tests you, don't shrink back. Stand still. Breathe. And remember, this is the universe checking your faith. The old you reacts. The new you responds. The awakened you observes and creates differently. This is how your thoughts shift from random to deliberate, from reactive to creative. And in that shift, life changes at the speed of your belief. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't look at your phone first. Look inward. Ask yourself one simple question: what am I choosing to believe today? Because the answer to that question is designing your reality in this very moment. And if that belief aligns with peace, with love, with purpose, with gratitude, then your life will become a reflection of that light. Because thoughts are seeds, and you are the gardener. Your world is nothing more than the garden of your repeated thoughts. You can't plant weeds of worry and expect a harvest of peace. You can't plant fear and expect freedom. You can't plant doubt and expect destiny. So plant something worth growing. Plant vision. Plant faith. Plant the thought that says, everything I seek is already within me. Because when you truly believe that the chase ends, the struggle ends, the noise fades, and what's left is clarity. What's left is peace. What's left is the power that's been waiting for you all along. The power to choose your thoughts. The power to rewrite your story. The power to awaken. You are not a victim of your mind, you are the master of it. And once you realize that, once you remember that every thought is a brush stroke on the canvas of your life, you stop waiting for miracles because you become one. So the next time doubt whispers that you can't, Smile and think, watch me. Because you've already learned the truth, change your thoughts, and you'll change your life forever.